All right, so I'm coming up with the prime factorization in order to find the lowest common multiples. So I know that 2 times 2 is 4, and then times 3 is 12. So 4 times 3 is 12, right? And I know that 3 times 5 is 15. Now what I'm going to do is I'm looking at 12 here and seeing how many times 2's come up. And it comes up twice. And then how many times does 3 come up? Well, it comes up once. Any 5's, there's no 5's, there's nothing else in there, right? All right, so now I'm looking at 15 and doing the same thing. How many times does 2 come up? Not at all. And then how many times does the 3 come up? Once. And how many times do 5's come up? And it comes up once. Okay, so I don't need this top part anymore. But what I am going to do is I'm looking now at, I'm going to pair these. Okay, and when I'm looking at it, I'm multiplying each factor. So these are the factors that multiply together to get to the number. So together, and I'm looking at which one has the most. How many times does it come up? The greater amount. So the greater amount that it comes up is this one here. So I'm going to use those, 2 times 2. 3, the maximum it comes up in one row is once. So I'm going to use that. And then the maximum 5 comes up is once. So I'm going to use that. And that's how I'm going to find the greatest common multiple. Okay, so now I just multiply these together. This is 15 here, and this is 4. So 4 times 15 is going to be, so doubling that, 15 is 30, and then multiplying by 2 again, that's 60. So the greatest common multiple between 12 and 15 is 60. Okay, now I'm just going to write in here what the prime factorization is. I know not 2, I always try to go with 2 first. I know that 5 times 5 is 25, and that I wanted this to be 75. I don't know why I put that there. So 5 times 5 is 25 times 3, so 25, 50, 75, right? Okay. Wow, I'm using weird numbers that I didn't want to use. All right, and this one is going to be 102. Okay, so I'm just going to give you the prime factorization. So 2 times 3 is 6 times 17 is going to be 102. You can double check the math if you want. But now what we're going to do is look at the number of times 2 shows up in 75 or 72, 75, blah, and it's 0. And then how many times 3 shows up is 1. And how many times 5 show up is 2. And then there's 0 17s. And I have 17 there because I know it comes up there. Okay, so now I'm going to look down here, and 2's come up in 102 one time. 3's come up one time. 0's come up none, and 17 comes up once. All right, so to find the lowest common multiple, I look how many times 2 comes up once, the maximum amount, right, between the two. The maximum amount it comes up, 3's comes up is once, so I use 3 once. The maximum amount of time 5 comes up is twice, so I go 5 times 5. And then the maximum amount of times 17 comes up is once. Okay, and then I multiply this all together. And do I expect you to be able to do this without a calculator? No. So this is 2,550. So that is the lowest common multiple between. Okay, if you need help with this, just let me know.